Thursday. Today is the 10th of April, 2K14. This is Wayne Goldsboro Television. I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kim Best. Good Thursday morning. Glad to have you with us.
And wouldn't you know, just as we started, I got a frog or something here going.
Well, that's the way it goes. I'll tell who's on the show and give you a second.
Would you do that? Thank you.
I will. On today's show, we have someone representing the Board of Elections giving us details about upcoming elections that will be happening right here in Wayne County.
That works.
Also, we have Crime Stoppers here.
All right.
Asking for your help.
Oh, yes. Board of Elections. Now, that's a good one, too. Now, Rosemary Blizzard, the director of the Board of Elections here in Wayne County, and she's going to have a lot of good information. I hope you're able to listen to what she has to say. And, of course, Sergeant Leonard is with us.
Paige Leonard, that's
Goldsboro
right.
PD, and we'll have a lot of good information about Crime Stoppers. Now,
yes.
Oh, boy. Here we go with the Thursday. This weekend is just everything in the world is happening this weekend.
I mean, you have so much to choose from on what you plan to participate in, what you want to participate in, and what you can participate in. Right, Wayne Alley?
That is exactly right there, Kim Best. We got the Goldsboro, Greater Goldsboro Road Run.
That's right. That's this weekend.
That's this week. That's early in the day. And then we have what do we have? We
Pig
have
in the Park.
Pig in the Park. That's right.
All day long. That's a big event.
Also known as Swine in the Pine.
True.
Okay. I just made that up.
You did good. I'm proud of you.
I'll write it down and maybe
Yeah, sell it.
Sell it. Okay. But with just so many things going on this weekend.
That's right. Well, Pig in the Park is a big event. It all goes back to benefit the Boys and Girls Club of Wayne County. Come on out. There's going to be so many different vendors there. Not a better day to actually taste and sample all different teams that think that they have the best barbecue in our community.
Oh, yeah. You ask them, they'll tell you. Mine is the best.
Of course they will. Of
course they will.
But it smells so good when you even drive in that area. Yeah. If you like barbecue, that's the place to be.
You'll see the roads filled, 117
sure
south,
will.
people coming in from Duplin County.
All at Waynesboro Park.
Highway 70 from Johnston County, people are coming in. Lenore County, Greene, Pitt, all that.
That's right.
Also on Saturday, the Literacy Connections of Wayne County hosting its second annual Literacy Fair. That's coming up this Saturday. It is Global Youth Service Day. The event open to the public will be held at the Seeger Senior Park, which is the walking park, right outside the Senior Center on East Ash Street at 2001 East Ash. Designed to increase family engagement in reading activities. I'm not even going to start because it's one of my pet peeves about how people read or don't read.
Right.
People just don't know how to read anymore. What's that word? No, never mind. The festivities taking place beginning at 10 a.m., going until 2 p.m. There's going to be volleyball, cornhole, bocce ball, airplane building.
Wow.
Wow. Arts and crafts and snacks and refreshments and prizes and displays. Anyway, it's a whole lot of fun. Starts at 10 o'clock. The Global Youth Service Day this weekend, in fact, April 11th through the 13th.
Free of charge?
Free of charge, takes place at the
Creek?
Senior Center.
Oh, at Senior Center.
Senior Center on East Ash Street. And there's a lot of community partners involved with that, including the Red Cross, which is one of my favorite organizations.
Yes, it is.
But it's going to be a lot of fun for people. That's this Saturday, okay?
Well, I want to remind everybody that the bond referendum through the Goldsboro Parks and Recreation will be coming up on May 6th. Educate yourself before May 6th. Find out what you think about this particular bond. Detailed information on all the projects that are included in the bond referendum are on the Goldsboro City of Goldsboro's website, which is goldsboronc.gov. Read the details, look at the schematic pictures, and see what all will be included and how it will affect you personally and your family and our community. But educate yourself before May 6th so you can make an educated vote. Details also on the City of Goldsboro's Facebook page and Goldsboro Parks and Recreation's Facebook page.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Big things happening in our community.
Yes. Big wheels keep on rolling.
Yes, they do.
Oh yeah.
And Center Street Jams going to be happening soon.
Really?
That's right. I think it's May 15th.
That works.
Spare Change, who we all know and love.
Oh, you mean the group?
The group.
I thought you were.
You got any spare change, Wayne?
I got some spare change.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, I'll take it to Center Street Jam.
2 cents.
Well, that won't help me much.
No, it won't.
Need a little more than that.
Okay, all
right. May 15th, Spare Change, Center Street Jams. Look forward to it. Put it on your calendar. They are great events. Don't cost a thing. Come on out and enjoy what your community offers right here on the Center Street, downtown Goldsboro.
That has grown so much over the last few
goodness.
years. It is just a big old party.
And they got a good lineup this year. A really good lineup.
You know, I heard the Malpas brothers are going to be there too.
Maybe so.
Is that right?
You never know.
I can't wait.
You never know.
All right.
They are accessing and using some local talent kind of throwing it in there.
You know, we've got a lot of talent here
We
locally.
sure do.
Really, speaking of the Malthus brothers.
Yes, speaking of.
Lots of
Chris
talent
and Taylor
here.
and Daddy.
Yes, that's
guys.
right. They are good guys. A bunch of stuff going on. If you plan on doing any spring cleaning, as you probably should, I know I should.
Me too.
Please consider donating to the Senior Center Gift Shop. All proceeds from the gift shop sales are used to benefit the Peggy M. Seeger Senior Center.
Well, that's a
Indeed.
mouthful.
And yes, indeed, no broken items or clothing or souvenirs. None of that stuff, please. Anything that says Niagara Falls, you can keep that. They're going to pick up the items at your house if you want them to. Call Aaron at 919-705-1785. 705-1785. Okay.
Very good. All right, let's go to our interviews and hear more about the Board of Elections and Crime Stoppers.
Our Crime Stoppers coordinator for Wayne County Goldsboro in the studio with us today, and we want to welcome Sergeant Paige Lerner to the Goldsboro Police Department, Crime Stoppers coordinator. Hi.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Good, thank you.
Glad you're with us. We need the public's help now,
Yes,
right?
we do.
All right. Find out what's going on. What's going on?
Well, today I wanted to highlight actually two cases, but they happened about an hour and 40 minutes apart.
Oh, okay.
On April 7th of this year, obviously, at about 10 p.m., we actually had a subject by the name of Kenneth Sutton was reporting that he was at home, which is at 1903B East Holly Street here in Goldsboro, when subjects entered his residence and pointed a gun and stole some currency and a cell phone.
Was this a forced entry, or did they just...
Basically, yes, it was a forced entry.
so it was a home invasion, pretty much.
Pretty much like a typical home invasion, if you could say typical. It's probably not the best word to use.
Right.
But about an hour and 40 minutes later, we actually had a 23-year-old by the name of Dana Humphrey and then a 42-year-old by the name of Carlos Hamilton. They were walking in a cut-through area in town, which is somewhat close to that area. And it was in Dale Street and the Linwood Avenue area. And as they walked through this cut-through and got on to Lemon Street, they said they were approached by two black males who pointed a gun at them and actually shot the gun. And actually one of those subjects was shot twice in the leg.
Oh, my.
So because of the proximity of the cases and some of the particular disclosures made from the different victims in both cases, it's possible they are linked. We can't say for sure that it's linked, but either way, we wanted to ask for the public's help. If they heard the gunshots, if they heard any of the arguing in the area, to either incident, to either tell us they are linked or not linked, or just anything that they can provide.
All right, now what were the dates and times again on this?
It was April 7th, and the first thing happened at 10 p.m., which was at 1903B East Holly Street.
That was a Monday evening.
On Monday evening.
Okay.
And then about an hour and 40 minutes later, which was about 11:40, the other incident was in between the cut area, which was Dale and Linwood Avenue area and the Lemon Street area. And so it was, you know, an hour and 40 minutes between the two cases.
Okay, so they're pretty close. Do we have descriptions?
The descriptions at this point are pretty brief as far as black males and dark clothing.
That's about it.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, not a lot to give the public, but
No.
you know, certainly I'm sure there's people in the area that heard the gunshots. You know, they may have came out, they may have seen something. Any little minute detail, and I know I say that a lot, they might think is nothing, but it could be a very important detail for us.
Any kind of a detail. So if they heard a shot and looked, they
Right.
might have seen somebody running in a certain direction.
Right. And
They might have
sometimes
noticed.
the simple thing is how many shots they heard tells us a lot too.
Okay.
So you know, anything that they think they may have seen or heard, we welcome that information.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so how do we get in touch with you?
735-2255, and if they don't want to call me, they can text me at the same line, which is 222-4230.
222-4230 is the text,
That's right.
and 735-2255 is the phone.
That's right.
And as always, callers are anonymous.
Yep. Everything is blocked, and if their information is what leads to a felony arrest, then they're eligible for a cash reward.
All right, we're looking for your help. We need your help. We need the public's help to solve these crimes. If these crimes are solved, you may even be entitled to a monetary reward. Is that right?
That is correct. That's the best part of Crime Stoppers, is being able to provide cash to people who are help the other citizens. It's not just helping the police department.
That's right.
It's basically helping the citizens of Wayne County.
Oh, yeah, that's what it's all about.
Right.
That's what it's all about. Help clean up the streets, get the crime off the streets, and at the same time, you could possibly receive anonymously a cash reward. All right, Sergeant Paige Lerner.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
we're talking with Rosemary Blizzard. Rosemary is the director of the Board of Elections here in Wayne County. Thank you for being with us.
Absolutely, no problem.
We have a primary coming up. Now, you know, people know the election is in 2014. Help me out here. It's in 2014, right. And then the big election, 2016.
Correct.
But we have a primary to decide who's going to run coming up. Now, do we have any races here in Wayne County?
We do. There will be, of course, on the ballot the U.S. Senate race for the entire county.
Okay.
That's across the state of North Carolina. It's the only statewide partisan race that we have.
Okay.
We do have a Supreme Court race that is statewide as well, although those judges run as nonpartisan.
Mm-hmm.
And more locally to us, we do have primaries in the U.S. Congress for the House of Representatives, as well as Senate District 5 for the North Carolina Senate.
Okay, so we do have some people who we need to make a decision on some of these races.
That's correct. The city of Goldsboro also has a bond referendum.
Oh, do they?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So will the entire county be affected?
For the bond referendum, no.
Okay.
That is
that's
just the city of Goldsboro voters.
But what about some of the other races? Will the entire county, I guess the Senate?
The U.S. Senate, of course, and the Supreme Court race will be countywide.
All right. Now, I believe in the Senate that would be, well, the incumbents are Hagan and Burr.
Correct. Now, Burr is not up this year.
Burr is not up, so the decision has to be made about Hagan.
Correct.
Does she'll have opposition?
She does have a primary this year in the Democratic Party,
Okay.
And then there is also a Republican primary for that same seat to run against whoever wins the Democratic primary in November.
Okay.
As well as a Libertarian.
Oh, we have a Libertarian running
We do have
as well.
a Libertarian primary.
All right. Now, so for anyone who has been voting in the past, they pretty much know what to do. Have there been any major changes or any changes at all in the voting process over the last few years?
Well, there's been a lot of talk about changes, especially with the election law changes that were passed last year. For voters who will be voting in May, the things they need to be aware of is there is no more same-day registration during one stop. So if you plan to participate in May, you need to get registered by Friday, April the 11th at 5 p.m. Everybody that has an interest in elections, we'd like to see them in May, and if there's a second primary, July or June, as well as November.
Right. The what would determine a second primary?
The second primary happens if in a given contest, no one candidate gets 40% of the total votes cast.
Have to get 40%.
They have to get 40%. Okay. If no one candidate does that, the second place finisher can request a second primary between themselves and the first place finisher.
Right. Generally, that would be, well, if there's only two, somebody's going to get 40% anyway.
That's correct. It's when you get more than two people in a primary that you have that possibility that it could happen.
Okay, who is eligible to vote, or who would be eligible to register to vote?
Okay, you must be 18 years old.
18.
You must have 30 days residency in the county and state for that matter. You have to, if you have been convicted of a felony, you have to have completed any punishment or sentence provided to you by the court, and your citizenship rights are automatically restored. So there's no special paperwork that we need to verify that.
Okay.
But we do get, you know, that sort of stuff is checked. But if you are otherwise free and clear of your felony conviction, you can vote.
Okay.
It's pretty much the same requirements it's always been.
Will we be showing our ID this time?
This particular election cycle, and what we call 2014, we call those midterm years. With the changes in election law, ID will not be required until the 2016 elections.
Okay.
However, if a voter feels so inclined to show their ID, they're certainly welcome to.
Okay.
One of the things that we have discovered is when they do show ID, it does make it easier to check them into the registration process because we can see their name printed just as they have it spelled. And so we can get our information from there when checking folks in.
Spelling is important.
Spelling is very important because our system is an exact spelling. So if you have an unusual spelling to your name or a particular configuration that we're not accustomed to, it does it can cause some problems, and I just ask for patience and that we will get there.
And sometimes people do not speak clearly when they're spelling their own name.
Sometimes.
Or they go too fast. Anyway, and this helps to eliminate the possibility of error perhaps, or you move along a little faster.
Perhaps.
In some ways.
And that's something I want voters to be aware of is to be patient.
when we plan our elections, we plan for everybody to show up. So the more the merrier in our case.
Yes.
But there does, you know, we want to do it right. And we want to make sure that everybody gets their ballot, and if they're eligible, that they have a positive experience.
You want to do it right.
Correct.
You absolutely do.
Absolutely.
You want to do it right. This is not, your office is not political. Your office is there to do a job.
Yeah.
And you're there to get people checked in so that they can vote, that the vote is understood, and that they go without a lot of time taken. You don't want them to rush through it, but you want them to move along. You want the line to move along.
Efficiency is what we're after.
Exactly.
And I'd like everybody to know that we work for the voters. We don't work for a campaign or a candidate. We work for the voters. And so that's why every process that we try to implement is designed to make it easy for the voters and that they have a positive voting experience so that they keep coming back.
I want to go back just a second. Excuse me. You mentioned you must live in the state 30 days. What if you live in the state in another county and then you move to Wayne County within a 30-day period?
Okay. If you are a voter who is sort of in between residences, whether it's within the county or from one county to another, you have to have 30 days residency, and that's very clear in our laws, and it always has been.
Right.
If you have moved within the 30 days, say you move a week from now, which will put us within the 30 days, you need to go to your old precinct to vote.
Oh, okay.
Because you still have your residency there. You've not been in your new place for 30 days.
Oh, okay.
Now,
So
once you hit that 30-day mark, you
then
will
you're
come to
okay.
your new precinct.
Okay. I'm glad you brought that up. So if someone lives outside Wayne County, they live in Johnston County, they need to go back to Johnston County.
Just for that
For that one time.
That one time.
Just that one time.
And once they achieve that 30 days residency, we're happy to have them.
Excellent. All right. Very good. Now, what if somebody is out of state? What do they do to get their, do they have to cancel their voter registration in another state and then re-register in North Carolina?
Well, part of our voter registration form that's been part of our form for as long as I've been in this business is there is the opportunity to cancel your registration at the same time. So when you come in to register, if you'll provide us with the information of your old registration, we will contact that jurisdiction and let them know that you're with us now.
Okay. Can people register by mail?
Yes, they can mail
can.
in their registrations. We have registration forms available on our website. They can be faxed in, they can be mailed in. The key point in that is we've got to have that original signature. We've got to see a signature, and you can't just fill it out and turn it in.
Okay. You've got to have a signature.
Correct.
All right. 18 and older, living in Wayne County for 30 days or longer. And your website has a ton of information on it.
It does.
All right. You can go to waynegov.com/BOE, Board of Elections. And from there, what kind of information can you find?
Well, you can download the calendar for all the elections running through. We haven't updated it for November yet, but that'll be our next point once we get past the primary. There's a schedule for one-stop voting.
Okay.
Now that has changed. We now have one less week than we had previously.
Okay.
We'll have 2 sites open, our office and then a site down in Dudley.
Okay.
I can assure the voters that even though we have less time, we are equipping our sites to handle as many voters as show up.
All right.
We have shortened the time, and that is less time involved in our office and
Right.
less personnel. However, we are required by law to meet the same number of hours that we were open in 2010.
Oh,
So we've
really?
had to compact 19 days down to 10.
Okay. Now, so what are the hours of the one-stop voting?
Okay, the one-stop voting site in our office will be from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m.
Okay.
And that's every weekday, starting on April the 24th. And then we will have a Saturday voting from 9 until 1 on May the 3rd, and that's the last day you can one-stop vote.
Okay.
Now the second site, which is at the First Congregational Church on Sleepy Creek Road in Dudley, it's a
Right.
site we used in 2012.
Right.
That site will be open every weekday starting April 24th from 12 until 6 p.m. Again, they also have a Saturday from 9 to 1 on May the 3rd.
And I believe that church is between the bypass and 117. 117 bypass and 117,
Yes.
the old 117.
Yes.
All right, right between them. Okay. All right. That doesn't sound like there's a lot of difference. You have to have the same number of hours, though.
Correct.
Okay, you must have, did you have shorter hours?
In 2010, the office was open 113 total hours.
Wow. Okay.
And so that's, in order for us to have done that, they had a single site at the Board of Elections office that was open just during regular business hours.
Okay.
And in order for us to meet those without being open 13 hours every day, we had to open up that second site.
Okay. So, you still have an opportunity to register, not register, but to vote on that day. You cannot register that day.
That's correct. During one-stop voting, you can come in and vote, but there will be no same-day registrations.
Okay. So, you only have information about what your office offers and does, and the locations of the voting precincts at the time of the election.
That's correct.
So during the election in May, all the precincts will be open.
All 30.
All 30 precincts will be open, and you can go to the website, waynegov.com/BOE, and you can find your precinct. Is there a way to put in your address?
There is. On our website, when you open up our page, there is a button at the very top. It's sort of a maroon color button. It says, check your voter registration absentee. If you click on that, it will take you to the public voter search where you can put in your name and address. Providing your date of birth will give you a bit more information than if you don't. However, just your name and address will provide you with your polling place with pictures showing you where the site is.
Where the site is, yeah.
And also will give you the sample ballots that you're eligible for in this election.
And let me tell you, I love the pictures. The pictures, you can actually see the polling place, what it looks like, what's around it, and it's easy to identify if you don't know where it is.
That's correct.
And once you're driving down the street, if you're on the right street, you'll find it easily from the photograph.
Plus, we always put up signs at the driveways, vote here.
A lot of signs.
And you'll just see, you know, a group of people as well, because we always have individuals out in the parking lot working for their individual campaigns and things.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of that. Won't get into that right now.
Yeah,
That's not.
that's a whole nother conversation.
That's a whole nother day's conversation. That's exactly right. Now, what about someone who accidentally votes at the wrong location?
Okay,
Does that ever happen?
Well, it is. We do have people who are confused sometimes about when they, you know, may have gone to one precinct at previous time, have moved, need to update their address, and may not have been able to do that on time by the 25 days before the election. And the way we have our precincts set up is we use laptops. So we have an electronic copy of our database on the laptops. If a voter comes in and says, hey, I've moved, and we find out that that address, their new address, puts them somewhere else, you know, one of the questions we're going to ask is, how long have you been there? Because of the 30-day concept. And if they are outside of the precinct and have been outside of the precinct for 30 days, we can very easily transfer them to the new precinct.
Okay.
And if they, you know, object from going, and maybe it's getting close to the closing time and they don't have time to get to the new precinct, they will be offered a provisional ballot. So we're not going to turn anybody away.
Okay, I was going to ask you about that next.
Yes, we still have provisional ballot voting. Now, I want to caution folks, if they're in the wrong place because of an address change, an unreported move is what we call those, then their provisional ballot will be considered by the board for their eligibility to make sure that they get the ballot that they're supposed to, if we can.
Right.
However, if voters are going to polling places out of convenience,
oh, that's not good.
if it's going just purely out of convenience, maybe they saw this one on the way home and didn't want to go all the way out to the one they're assigned to, or maybe one is closer to their work versus their residence.
Right.
That has been changed with the election law changes last year. Voting out of precinct with no other reason, like an unreported move or just out of convenience, the board is not authorized to have those ballots counted.
Now that is, they will not be counted.
That's
and
correct.
that is on the day of election in November, right?
That's a May issue
That's
as well.
That's a May issue.
That went
That's
into
a
effect
primary
January
issue.
1, 2014.
Oh, okay. That's a primary issue. You have to go to you must go to your assigned precinct.
So I'd like to challenge all of our voters to use our website and look up where they're assigned, so that they know going into it where they're supposed to go. And if they feel like they're not going to be able to make it to that precinct that day, or maybe they just don't want to, you know, there are things we don't like to do. They do have, of course, one-stop voting they can take advantage of, or they can get an absentee by mail.
You know, Rosemary, I'm not going to ask you why people don't take this more seriously. This is one of the most serious things that we can do as Americans. This is so important. People just don't understand how important this is, apparently, because they take it so lightly. What is wrong with people?
If I knew the answer to that question, I'd be doing something a bit more profitable.
Okay, very good. That's a good point. But we will advise you and encourage you to go to waynegov.com/BOE, get as much information as you can possibly get, look over the ballots. Please look over the ballots.
Call our office if you have questions. I'd rather get 1 million phone calls between now and May the 6th than to get one on the 6th that I could have answered much easier prior to the election.
And that's 731-1411, I think,
That's
right?
correct.
All right, say that again.
919-731-1411.
And you heard her. She said she'd rather get 100 phone calls to ask questions because that means people are interested.
That's correct.
It means people are interested and they want to do it right. So do not take this lightly. This is so important. One of the most important things we do as Americans is vote. And for crying out loud, please know for whom you are voting. That's all I'm going to say about that. Be sure that you do homework. Don't just go pick a name because the name rhymes or because your neighbor likes this person or whatever. Do a little homework, for goodness sakes. Get off your couch and do a little homework and find out who's the best person you think would be to hold a particular office representing you in the county, the state, or the federal government. Right?
Right.
Rosemary, thank you.
Thank you.
Rosemary Blizzard, the Director of the Board of Elections here in Wayne County. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
That was fantastic.
That was good. See, I told you.
Learned a lot.
Learned a lot. And again, let me stress, please, if you plan on voting, that's a wonderful thing. But please know for whom you are voting. Don't
That's
just...
right. Educate yourself.
Yeah. Please. Thank you. Hey, look here.
Well, Wayne, there's a Community Action Day that'll be happening very, very soon, April 26th. That's a day where we just come downtown Goldsboro and beautify our city. It's all through the DGDC, and you can register online if you want to volunteer at dgdc.org. It's going to take place between 10 and 12, and you can sign up, like I said, at DGDC. It's called Community Action Day. Pitch in to beautify your community.
I like that.
That's right, April 26th.
I like that. I get so angry when I see somebody throw something out
I do too.
a window, or when I'm driving down the highway and see somebody throw
You want to
somebody.
be a citizen's policeman? I know. Get them.
Or flatten their tires.
Uh-oh.
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 I didn't say that,
No.
really. I really didn't, but somebody did. Who was here? Okay. Okay, May the 2nd or the 2nd
You're crazy.
and the 3rd, May the 2nd and 3rd at the Wayne Regional Agricultural Fairgrounds.
What's happening?
Oh, by golly, let me tell you, we got an antique farm equipment show.
Oh, is that coming up? I knew it was
yeah.
soon.
You know what? I love old tractors and old machinery and stuff like that. A lot of people do. This is sponsored by the Eastern Carolina Vintage Farm Equipment Club. There's going to be a consignment auction on the 3rd. But everything starts on May 2nd and 3rd. That's a Friday and Saturday at the fairground. Starts at 8 a.m. Old tractors and antique combines and all that other good stuff there.
How much does it cost?
It is absolutely free to go in.
Really?
It is free to go in.
Good for them.
Of course, if you auction on something, if you bid on something,
Well,
you
you have to pay for that.
you know.
Of course you do.
Well, I just thought I'd say that.
Well,
you know.
thanks for sharing.
All right, no alcoholic beverages, please, but and it makes sense. No buyer's fee is charged. No buyer's fee is charged at the auction. Anyway, this is going to be a lot of fun. Now, on May 3rd, it starts at 8 o'clock on Friday, but then it starts at 9 o'clock on Saturday. But a lot of fun. An antique farm equipment show and sale and all that. The 12th annual on May 2nd and 3rd at the Wayne Regional Agricultural Fairgrounds.
Well, mark your calendars for the last weekend in April. It is right around the corner. North Carolina Pickle Festival.
Oh, boy.
28th annual. We're going to remind you, go ahead and mark it on your calendars. Go ahead and plan on. They've got opportunities Friday night at the airport in Mount Olive. They'll have a band and everything is fun and just open to the public. Saturday morning they start with some type of run. I don't remember the details. It's all on their website at the Wayne County Chamber of Commerce.
A run.
Yes. Like, like a road run. A road run.
Okay.
Tour de Pickle.
Okay.
That's what it is.
That's it.
Tour de Pickle. That starts that morning. Then they'll have Events all day long. Of course, lots of free pickles everywhere you go, and all kinds of special. Just ask Julie Beck, the director.
That's right.
All kinds of special things happening with pickle related. 3 stages full of entertainment happening all day long. 3 stages. Yes.
That's right. 3 stages. Wow.
Yes. Fun
All at
day.
one time.
All at one time.
Oh, boogie.
Tons and tons and tons of folks come and enjoy the North Carolina Pickle Festival, and they win lots of awards. Great T-shirts, but you better get those ahead of time at the Chamber of Commerce in Mount Olive. This year, their theme is, what is it? It has something to do with the Beatles. Hold on. Come on, Wayne. Help me out.
Help!
I don't remember.
Okay.
But they have really neat T-shirts. They always do.
Oh, it's
They're
not
little
help.
collector's
It was
items.
another one that was there.
No, it's all about this being the special anniversary
Yeah,
of
it's
the Beatles.
the anniversary of the Beatles. The 50th.
We'll go with that.
We'll go with that. Let's
Yeah.
go with that, yeah.
But mark your calendars. It's always good fun.
Help! No, that's not it.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, well, I was just going to say that on, on April 30th, which is the 3-0 with a capital 3, it's Wednesday at the Peggy M. Seeger Senior Center. Senior Tar Heel Legislative Delegate and Martha Bryan, Peggy Seegers is going to be there, and Martha Bryan will be there, presenting an update on the latest session of the Senior Tar Heel Legislature. Seniors will be able to learn what recommendations concerning senior citizens are being made to our lawmakers.
Yes.
Question and answer period will follow. That's Peggy Seegers herself and Martha Bryan, the alternate there, and they will be at the Senior Center on April 30th, and we'll invite you there at 10:30.
Always
All
good to be
right.
educated
All
and know
right.
what you're voting for.
Please know what you're voting for. Hey.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being
Yeah.
with us today.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll be back again tomorrow. We'll do this all over again, but I'll probably get it right next time. Anyway, join us again tomorrow, same channel that you're watching right now. And until then, I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kim Best, and this is what's happening in your community.